Hello and happy Wednesday to you. Welcome to another edition of our Ellen G. White devotional series for Wednesday, May 10th, 2022. The Sign of God's Authority. I'll be reading once again, as always, from the devotional To Be Like Jesus by Ellen G. White. The Bible says in Isaiah chapter 58, verse 12, "Those from among you shall build the old waste places. You shall raise up the foundations of many generations, and you shall be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of streets to dwell in." Again, from Isaiah 58, verse 12, from the New King James Version of the Bible. The Sabbath is a golden clasp that unites God and his people, but the Sabbath command has been broken. God's holy day has been desecrated. The Sabbath has been torn from its place by the man of sin, and a common workday has been exalted in its stead. A breach has been made in the law, and this breach is to be repaired. The true Sabbath is to be exalted to its rightful position as God's rest day. In the 58th chapter of Isaiah is outlined the work which God's people are to do. They are to magnify the law and make it honorable, to build up the old waste places, and to raise up the foundations of many generations. To those who do this work, God says, "Thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord, honorable, and shalt honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words, then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it." Verses 12 through 14. The Sabbath question is to be the issue in the great final conflict in which all the world will act a part. Men and women have honored Satan's principles above the principles that rule in the heavens. They have accepted the spurious Sabbath, which Satan has exalted as the sign of his authority. But God has set his seal upon his royal requirement. Each Sabbath institution, both true and false, bears the name of its author, an ineffaceable mark that shows the authority of each. It is our work to lead the people to understand this. We are to show them that it is of vital consequence whether they bear the mark of God's kingdom or the mark of the kingdom of rebellion, for they acknowledge themselves subjects of the kingdom whose mark they bear. God has called us to uplift the standard of his downtrodden Sabbath. How important, then, that our example in Sabbath keeping should be right. From Testimonies for the Church, Volume 6, pages 351 to 353. The Sign of God's Authority. I have just read from the devotional To Be Like Jesus by Ellen G. White for Wednesday, May 10th, 2022. Join us once again for another edition of our Ellen G. White devotional series. Have a blessed day.